Good evening, folks. Phil Gallagher of Thraben U here for a bonus stream. I know you got High Tide earlier today, and YouTube folks, you probably get this one tomorrow. But I was bribed, so I was planning on just kind of having a low-key evening, maybe like playing some Monsters Train or something like that. And then I shot a couple of messages back and forth with Nathan Lepetz about this Ruby Storm deck list, and I was bribed to play it. So, in case you're not familiar with this style of deck list, the card that it's built around is Ruby Medallion, which makes your red spells cost one less to cast. So we are a mono-red storm deck, essentially, that is winning through Burning Wish. There are actually no win conditions in the main deck. We have a whole bunch of things that quote-unquote draw cards by letting you play them from exile. And Past in Flames to flash back a whole bunch of mana producers and these things. So the idea is you go big, you eventually hit a Burning Wish, and then you have a few different ways to win. If you have 20 Storm, you can Grape Shot. If you have less than that, you can empty the Warrens. If you have 10 Storm, but double Lotus Petal or LED, you can Tendrils instead. So these are the three ways that we actually win game ones. Note there's a couple of oddities here. Notice that there is one Rite of Flame in the board. That's so that you can Burning Wish for mana when you need to help set up. There's also an Ignite the Future in the board for when you can't quite get there with one of these and you need to keep rolling the dice. Generally speaking, this deck isn't really meant to sideboard, really. The plan for post sideboard games. Oh, sorry, I moved those things over. Whoop. Let's do this. Thank you. So the plan for most post sideboard games is to board in 3 Aria of Flame so that you can go and have an alternate win condition that doesn't necessarily require you to win in the same ways that you won in game 1. And this dodges a lot of the various hate things that you're going to run into. Generally speaking, we have fairies for graveyard matchups, defense grids for blue matchups, and a random Abrade or something like that for a Chalice matchup. With that said, let's just kind of jump directly into a league here. I think we're gonna go fast tonight. Yeah, Red High Tide is a very good comparison. So I have an Enchantress deck that I need to play either tomorrow or Friday. I haven't decided which it's going to be yet, but one of those 2 days is Enchantress. Nathan, my gut says mulligan this one. Keep that. All right. We're going to start with 1 Overmaster as a redraw. Act on Impulse. Okay, let's see. I think I just pass here. Chalice on 0 is about the only thing that bites me in the butt. The next turn, I think I probably win. Not guaranteed or anything, but until my opponent puts some pressure on me, I don't really need to try to go off. Like, if this is just life or loan for 2 lands, it doesn't really matter. Let's start here. The Salvage Reclaimer is slightly awkward. It can represent Bojuka Bog now. But my opponent might just attack with it. Hard to say. I don't know what their life is. More Overmaster, huh? I guess I just cycle that again. Are we there? Land Lotus Petal. No, I really need a ritual still. Flashback on this 7? 8. Alright, notably opponent has a Tabernacle. We are playing Rite of Flame, we have 3. The 4th is in the sideboard. Why did this not attack? That's really weird. Misplay? Or like double Spirit Guide? I'm gonna assume misplay. Didn't hit a land there. I think I just go like land, petal, and Manamorphose into other Manamorphose. Oh, Burning Wish. We're damn near a kill already. Ooh. Ruby Medallion plus double LED. This is 8. We don't really want to do that yet. We want to do some of this other stuff. Yeah, it does. All right, do I actually cast the Past in Flames now? It doesn't really net me mana yet. All right. I don't really see how this wins yet. Like, Manamorphose is just neutral. There's no ritual in the graveyard. Yeah, this still feels sketch, right? No, we're not gonna win on next turn off Past in Flames. We're gonna get Bojuka bogged and lose everything. Yeah, I do not like this line at all. Line was terrible. Yeah, that Fast in Flames line was way worse than just doing this stuff. Yep. All right. I should have gone with my gut. We're gonna get bogged and have Ruby Medallion Mountain. I was listening to Nathan, assuming that he had a winning line. That I just didn't see. Well, we can't even do anything if we Past in Flames, right? This costs us all of our mana. This does nothing. This was the reason not to play the land from my hand, by the way. Let's see. Yep. Seems like I'm probably dead to like a crop rotation here or something. Yeah, Nathan, I think your Fast and Flames baseline was really bad. I I think instead of going that like Burning Wish Fast and Flames route, you're just supposed to like roll the dice off the 2 cards you have sitting in exile. I trusted you. You betrayed me. These Overmasters are probably pretty bad. I board out the 4th Overmaster for an Abrade. I think so. This seems good enough. I don't think I actually want to like try to interact with my opponent. My opponent's graveyard specifically. Well, I'm going to keep this hand. I just play the Slow Storm card on turn 1. Yeah, we don't need that many cards to win here. Is it actually good to cast a second Aria of Flame? Probably. I probably should have like Desperate Ritualed first. Not entirely sure. So this is dealing like 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8. So this kills in 8 spells. Whereas if I play second Aria, first one deals 2. The second one deals 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10 plus 12. And that's a kill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's fine to play second Aria. But I think I saved the Manamorphose for next turn. Never didn't have it. We'll cast that next turn, figure out what we want to do with it. Probably just get the Shattering Spree and remove the sphere. Oh, Past in Flames is 5 to start with, and then 3 for my next card. I don't think Past in Flames does anything. Plus getting Shattering Spree means that I can actually cast 2 spells this turn. That's super relevant. Use target artifact. Replicate 0. There we go. Yeah, so there's one trigger created here. The same trigger puts the verse counter on and then damage happens. Instant or sorcery. So I should have held that. Dead to crop rot. Dead to crop rot. Oh, there wasn't floating mana. Oops. That might have been an early concession. What more things at? 8 and 3? No, not 8 and 3. Regardless, if the opponent gets the second combo piece there and then has a land, I don't think I kill them. Yes, I will keep this. We don't need to bottom a land. This is a 7-card hand. We just keep them. Fun has mulled to 5 already. Wonder if that means I'm supposed to like play out an LED in fear of like a reanimator discard spell taking it. I don't think I'm going to. But let the record show I'm thinking about it. Turbo Depths. Belcher. I think I'm just going. For 7 total mana. Are goblins good enough? I don't know that goblins are good enough. I might just die. I need to hit 1 mana out of this. Oh, no, I don't. I can still goblins after this, right? Play Ruby Medallion. Crack LED. Seething Song costs 1. Seething Song Burning Wish. Yeah. Yeah. This should be fine. I've already played a land. I have 6 mana. I can just accept a very large empty here. Otherwise, I Past in Flames. Past in Flames costs 2 into Seething Song, Rite of Flame, and go for a double light up the stage from Graveyard. I have Past in Flames and Ignite based lines that are both fine. Feels like Past in Flames is better. I don't want to necessarily cast this Rite of Flame yet. Cast a light up the stage instead. Mountain, strong. Cast a light up the stage. Okay, Burning Wish and Ignite Memories. Or sorry, Ignite the Future. This isn't lethal yet. I don't have a kill yet, right? I just continue going. All right, how do I have a kill? This is 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'm still a little bit short on Storm. Or we can just get an Ignite Memories that looks like that, and it makes everything irrelevant. So this is 18. This first one can just get me a Rite of Flame, which I will cast. Second one, Burning Wish or Grape Shot. Grape Shot. You always yield same targets. Take that, Belcher! Haha! I don't know that we Arya versus Belcher. Arya is like the grind out plan. We just want to go fast. Ghost of Tom, thank you very much for following. I'm thinking about playing one Abrade over Overmaster because it can just kill Moxen that my opponent plays out. I think this is all I'm doing. We indeed out-Belchered Belcher. I don't think we get to do that on the draw. Unless... I have a probable turn 2 kill here. Not guaranteed. Turn 1 Ancient Tomb, Ruby Medallion. Turn 2 Seething Song, LED, Ignite the Future. Yeah, when you get an LED and you can just make black, or you get 2 Lotus Petals so you can make black, you don't have to count as high. Counting high is hard. I'll just pass. I'll just pass. I have a braid in my hand. We'll win later. We just stopped them from winning for a very long time. That was a pretty dirty top deck. We had 7 outs to do that there, I believe. The 3 Rite of Flames and 4 Lotus Petals. Seething Song, 1 floating, go up to 6 mana, go down to 2 floating mana, Ignite. Eh. If I felt like I was under pressure, I would do that, but I don't feel like I'm under pressure. I'm going to take 1 more draw step. Next turn, I will probably feel compelled to actually cast some spells, but I don't feel the need yet. Okay, this nets mana. We can start. Cool part here is that we have like Past in Flames as backup if things go wrong. Plus 1 mana. Guess we'll do it. Burning Wish. Crack for Black Tendrils. No thought. Storm count 9, storm count 10, 20. Yep. Hold priority. Make some skulls. Veil against the mono red deck. Ball. I haven't done math, but I'm pretty sure my opponent's dead anyway. Metamorphose is fine. Okay, hold on. How does this read? If this spell was cast from a graveyard, you may play cards this way without paying their mana costs. I can cast for 4. Opponent gave me the approval and the GGs there. So I think what happened there was that my opponent didn't really sideboard and Veil was just like still in their deck. I don't know that they were specifically playing around Tendrils in any capacity. It doesn't seem correct for them to do so. But like Belcher is a deck that doesn't really board much. So the reality is our opponent probably kept their game one configuration or very close to it and happened to still have those cards in their deck. Yeah, that's fine, Nathan. I feel like I know what's going on at this point. I can rely on the other 35 people in chat to guide me when I get stuck. I goldfished a couple of games before I started the stream up to kind of like make sure that I understood how the mechanics of the deck work. It's not actually all that bad. It's much easier than like TES, for example. Hey, Twitch chat occasionally helps. Like sometimes Twitch chat tells me my music is muted when I play Monster Train after I've been streaming for 35 minutes. They're real helpful. Wait. No land. Uh, Eep. It's sketch, obviously, but I'm an engine deck, so I don't want to mulligan that low. I think I keep this and junk the past in flames. Versus! Daggers. This chalice is not actually as good as you might think it is. Fuck that, though! Holy hell, I'm punished for not playing that Lotus Petal. No, it's mono black curses in all likelihood. Karn's real good against this deck, though. So is Trinisphere. Imagine if I had a Lotus Petal in play and I could Burning Wish for Shattering Spree. Imagine that universe. Not this universe. Dead. Alright, Overmasters are not good here. I will want Arias as an alternate win condition, and I'll want this Abrade. That seems like an easy 4/4 for Overmasters. I'll keep this in the sideboard to Burning Wish for. Nope. $11 mountains. Well, the issue is that like if there's a chalice on one Overmaster, yeah, a resolved Overmaster will stop that sort of thing. I think I'm supposed to keep this hand. 5 cards is kind of sketch. Ruby Medallion's really powerful. All I need is a red source. But without a red source, I do nothing. I have 15 hits for a red source. I feel like I have 3 turns to get that in. It's probably fine. there are 3 Arias in. Which is real good, because, like, the ley line is strong. I'm really glad my opponent is chalicing on 1. Just got rid of that. I just got rid of that. But oh, please. Don't card me. Alright. Interactive game of Magic here. Opponent does not have black mana. I don't have red mana. Opponent found their mana first, which is real bad for me. Or is it? Yeah, it is. Yep. Alright. I accept my fate. I can give you 5 more ticks if you don't 3-2 this. Obviously, deal. Oh yeah, like if I'm playing Magic, I am playing to win. That was the first question that I asked Nathan as well. Because like when I played this deck, I think there weren't Overmasters and I had bonus rounds instead. And otherwise it looked more or less like this. I think I had a main deck empty though when I played it. Yeah, bonus round being better if you main deck defense grid makes a lot of sense to me. I think Bryant is on main deck defense grids in TES right now. I think he was talking about that on the podcast yesterday. Hard for me to know, like, what of his stuff is public and what isn't, because, like, sometimes he talks to me about things that he's, like, trying. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Turn 1 Ruby Medallion. Turn 2, maybe we're going. Like, turn 2 is second Ruby Medallion into Seething Song that costs 1 mana. Like, I am in. It's in play. Your fetch lands! They have value other than thinning your deck. Please. I beg you. Don't fetch to thin on turn 1 of a match. 8, 3, 4, 7, 8. It just flash this back next turn if this doesn't work. I don't really want to get Spell Pierce. I can just like play around Spell Pierce by waiting a turn. Hmm. Summoner is not a control deck, they're a combo deck. Blue-green show and tell. Yeah, maybe I win. I mean, I'm going. Tap the Ancient Tomb? I'm tapping the Ancient Tomb. It's this turn or bust. This is 8, so it's really 6, which I can make 5. I can cast Overmaster before Ruby. This costs 1 red regardless. Okay, sorry, so this is 8, so it's actually 5. All of my active mana, but that doesn't matter because I can crack LEDs at any point. Dead? Dead. Feels like I'm just boarding 5 cards, I think. Do I actually want Overmasters if I'm boarding in defense grids? Seems like no. Maybe cut that in a Desperate Ritual. Alright, so you say like that? Okay. I would like to play first. This is the third no lander tonight. God, it's another one of these, like, I don't have access to red mana hands. I am not currently planning on playing in any of the Gen Con events. Planning on streaming, but not specifically the Gen Con events. I heard they were essentially like glorified Winnaboxes. So, eh. And then if you spike one, you get to play in a like for realsy event. Oh god, yeah, absolutely lead on grid. Like, don't have to worry about it later, or like get two cards out of their hand. Either way is a good exchange. So we're looking to draw like red land. Red land means we have like a total of 9 mana, which is pretty insane. Well, not drawing red land though. Not drawing red land probably just means I'm dead. Like, this also means that they might have a counter spell, in which case, like, nabbing my Seething Song is brutal. Yeah, I don't think a line that starts with me casting LED to discard my hand yet to cast back Past in Flames is going to like end up being good enough. Right? So this is brutal. I have to play out LED into their infinite number of artifact removal spells next turn. Hey! Just cast Aria? I think it's just cast Aria. Oh, we got a Drawn from Dreams out of that. I consider that a win. Cunning wish for intuition. You're potentially dead this turn. Intuition for show and tell in something that kills me. Feels dead. Not dead yet. Still not dead. Maybe. I am curious as to whether this deck needs another land. So we've mulliganed 2 or 3 hands that have not had lands. We've kept single Ancient Tomb hands twice, hoping that they get there, hoping to draw Mountain. Like, yeah, so here's an example of another hand where we're like yet again short on mana. Like we're on the draw, we overmaster cycle looking for another land, and then we still want mana beyond that. I don't know that this hand is keepable. Like it has the sorts of stuff that I'm looking for, but there's a very good chance that I just completely fail in keeping this hand. Eh, that's not the card I want here. I'm obviously keeping this hand. But I want a little more than an act on impulse. I think this goes back. Please don't be Delver. I'm like never beating Wasteland. Like, Days your first play, then Wasteland Ancient Tomb. Just like never beating that. Nice. I don't know that I have like enough to like go off or anything, but it's tempting. I think I just land pass here. I think I just land pass here. This is 4 cards that I get to look at. I think I'm under no pressure. I don't know what I'm playing against. I think I'm okay waiting 1 turn. Real awkward if this Ruby Medallion gets OHKO'd though. Yeah, if I play like Seething Song into Act on Impulse and the Act on Impulse gets countered, and then I'm left with like just Manamorphose. Oh, hell yeah. Like, you do that. You do that all day. So this feels like a misstep to me. My opponent sees Ruby Medallion. They should not be trying to get Death Touch on this. They should be trying to get green green for this. So it feels like they should have gotten Tropical Island there to me. No, I'm fine with them casting the Ponder, but I think they fetched the wrong land. I think that's supposed to be another Trop if they have one. That's fine. So we traded Act on Impulse for 2 cards, and we just wasted 1 mana that we netted. This is totally fine. Yeah, if they don't have a second Trop or another green duel, like, it's not a misstep. Oh yeah, I did forget to play that mountain. I had intentionally held it back because I was planning on like trying to play a land off Act on Impulse, and then I forgot. Need to rip a big juicy spell off the top of the library here. Oko has reared its ugly head. This is awkward. I kind of need a Seething Song before doing this. I don't want to do this. but it feels like I should. It feels like I'm doing the thing. Fuck! Get out of here. Yeah, I know you're gonna have Death Touch. We're only looking at a handful of cards, right? So I don't feel like I've had significantly below average draws. I do feel like the deck needs more mana sources than what it has. I feel pretty confident about that. It might only be like one more, but it feels like almost every hand has wanted more mana. Mm, I need the one that has flashback, or I need a Past in Flames or something. I don't think I'm actually like dead yet. Anurag, thank you very much for the raid. For everyone that's tuning in, hello, I'm Phil Gallagher. I run Thraben University, and I run the Eternal Glory podcast along with Brian and Bryant. Today we are playing Ruby Storm. Yeah, I do a couple other things other than just High Tide. I largely retired D&T after Anurag played it. What was the point of even trying anymore? For those of you boat enthusiasts out there, I played High Tide earlier today, and that VOD is awesome. It's like one of the best VODs that I've made in maybe the past 3 months. That one just went up to YouTube a little while ago. 6-9 incoming next turn. Anurag, congratulations on becoming affiliated with Channel Fireball as well. Haven't talked to you since that happened. But it's a nice level up. You deserve it after the work you've been putting in over the last, I don't know, 178 days. What ungodly number are you up to now? Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Honorog, I think the deck's a little bit misbuilt. I think I need more mana sources. The deck's really cool when it starts doing its thing, and it's more consistent than I thought it might be when it starts going off, but I'm having trouble with having enough initial mana sources in my opening hand. It's been almost every round that like my starting mana doesn't quite get me to the point where I start casting these things. So I think it needs a 16th land. I'm supposed to play Arya. I probably am supposed to play Defense Grid, even though my opponent also has a pile of Okos. Go like 2, 1, 1, 1? Something like that feels about right. Maybe Desperate Ritual is worse than Overmaster. Arya Flame is sweet against this deck, though. Baby Bite, thank you for following. Arden Scarfman, thank you for following as well. And Fornia, thank you very much for gifting a sub to Anurag. Now, Anurag can use Sweet Chalice of the Void and Thalia emotes in his channel as much as he pleases. Keep? I'm keeping this hand. Is this a turn 1? Do I get to turn 1 with this deck? No, Nathan. Vintage is Saturday? Vintage is Saturday morning. I'm not sure that I am supposed to turn 1, but my opponent, like my opponent just mulliganed to 5. So it seems like I can wait a turn. It's safer to just wait. I was real tempted. Oh, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Anna first? The cowardly play is just like Burning Wish, make goblins, and save these light up the stages. Am I able to block warriors? That's the real question. What if I just want to be a genderless artifact that sits on the battlefield and stops my opponent from casting spells that they like to cast? I get to cast this for one? Yeah, that can uh that can just happen. I could just pay for this, but I think I just keep going instead. Ooh, another light up the stage? This Past in Flame is going to be like really good if things work out. Hmm. Double defense grid. I'm gonna try to keep going. I needed a ritual there. Alright. What's the timing restriction on these? Until the end of your next turn. So I still get to play all these things next turn. That's gas. Ancient Tomb good? Past in Flames costs 3 mana. I have 3 mana available. I get to Past in Flames into Seething Song. No, I don't also get to Grid, right? The Past in Flames is 3 mana. That's this. Seething Song is 2 of that 3 remaining mana. So I don't have the mana to Defense Grid first. Yeah, I have to Past in Flames first. I can probably get a mid-turn Grid, though. No whammy? No whammy. Now I assume I have enough for a Defense Grid and do some things. Although I don't know if they didn't counter that. Seems like they don't have a counter spell. Okay. So I have these light up the stages, which are Okay. Burning Wish for goblins is normally 6 mana, so I get to subtract 2. That's 4 total mana, so I have 3 mana that I can work with up until then. It seems like 1 light up the stage for 2 mana is fine. Okay. Now I just have tendrils kill. Defense grid means that they can't do it. Okay, so I just need to build a couple more storm via light up the stage. The tendrils will cost the full 4. Yeah, I should be fine. Oh baby. Get some skulls. Burning Wish. Use Burning Wish's ability. Tendrils, you? Alright. That went much better. Let's do that again. Yeah, so this is another opening hand with exactly what I'm talking about with the opening mana. Where, like, once again, we're short on opening mana. And we either keep, like, a super sketchy hand that needs mana in order to get started, or I mulligan. Like, double Seething Song plus Past in Flames plus double Manamorphose is, like, so hot. My opponent has mulliganed. I kind of want to keep this hand. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 hits for the second mana. I'm going to keep. I would mulligan this on the play. I think it's defensible on the draw. Nathan, I will check in with the girlfriend and see what she says. I'm good with that. But I have to see what she says. Yeah, thanks. The Dream 42, thank you very much for following. Hope you are enjoying the shenanigans. Hmm. This will be pretty good if my opponent just slams Oko next turn and turns Defense Grid into an Elk. I don't think I'm supposed to Manamorphose here yet. Definitely Moonstompy, because I feel like I can play a Moonstompy league and end in a reasonable amount of time, but the same's not true of Dead Guy Ale. Dead Guy Ale is slower to play. And how much do you think Defense Grid is? What? How much is this card worth in your mind? Just curious. I don't think I can bribe my girlfriend in ticks. I think I have to, like, bribe her in flavored alcohol and cheese. 13 lands, Lotus Petal X4, Rite of Flame X3 to try to jam Arya into play. Thank you very much for the raid. For everyone who's tuning in now. Hi, I'm Phil Gallagher, and you are walking in on Legacy Ruby Storm. Oh, that's a great draw. That means Arya is a reasonable cost next turn. Fun fact, I am actually allergic to chocolate. Girlfriend, she's on board with chocolate. I understand, it is tasty. And before I confuse you, I became allergic fourth grade Halloween. Just overexposure or something like that, just like totally made me sick. Oh yeah, I mean, so my last iteration of Red Prison was running 4 blasts in the sideboard, and in the Oko matchups, I'm just like boarding out Chalice, just because like it's so important to answer Oko, and to a lesser extent Uro. That guy's still a problem. Yeah, I cannot stand that deck. I streamed it once, and the deck just like pooped all over itself every round. Imagine if I had an Aria of Flame in play. Nathan, we need more mana sources. Do I just play first Aria of Flame, or do I play Seething Song, double Aria of Flame? I think I just play single Aria of Flame. Like, I try to resolve one of these, and then I try to have, like, a Seething Song, Past in Flames, Metamorphose turn. Yeah, that's fine. Opponent has 1 card, and my hand is juiced. That's an okay Magic card. Yeah, that's the thing. So, like, I became fourth grade allergic fourth grade Halloween, and I missed it for a while, especially Snickers ice cream bars. That's like one of those things that still is really appealing in my mind. But now, like, the sight and smell of it just is not appealing anymore. That's a shame. So, 8 spells, I believe, kills our opponent is the number that we're looking at. So, next turn, we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is 5 mana, down to 2, up to 7, down to 3, up to 5. Yeah, okay. I think our opponent dies next turn. Yeah, so Jace's unsummon is just creature. It's not like Teferi, which gets darn near everything. I'm also unsure if I'm supposed to like kill their Jace, because like the way this reads is it's target player or planeswalker. Mystic Sanctuary puts Force of Negation on top of library. So that is now reachable via Brainstorm. Maybe make a mid-turn Ruby Medallion work. I need to start here. I think I'm going to start by shooting them. Because like 1 damage to Jace isn't super relevant here. Okay. They did have Brainstorm. Back to basics against my mountain deck. I mean, I accept because I have 4 non-mountain lands, and I guess you saw 1 or 2 of them last game. That's interesting. Maybe opponent thinks I also have City of Traders? They might not know what my mana base actually looks like. So they saw... Yeah, they might think my deck looks slightly different than it actually does. Hey, pitch the force. It did its job. It was blue. Pray for mana. That's the same thing I've been doing all league. All league, I've just wanted more mana. Kind of seems like an Overmaster or 2 should just be lands. Try to get a Seething Song to resolve and see what happens. This is worth 2. That can still go to their face. Rough. The second back to basics. That card is so good at getting pitched to Force of Will. Unexpected. Jace could Fate Seal this turn. Jace did not Fate Seal this turn. So that means I can just kill the Jace with Arya this turn. Thawing Glaciers. What does this look like? 2014 Elder Dragon Highlander? I assume Thawing Glaciers has gotten like power creeped out of the format by now, right? I haven't played any Commander in 3 years, maybe. Oh no, it's more than that. Maybe 4 years. It's been a hot minute. Like I think I now officially reached like old man stage where if I sat down to play a game of Commander, I would have to like spin the cards around and actually read what the commanders do because there's so many new legendary creatures that have so many words on them. Not the council's judgment. No. Yeah. So Nathan, especially when you're sideboarding Aria of Flames in a bunch of matchups and increasing the average CMC of your deck, I think at least one mana source is necessary, maybe two. It's also possible that you play like a sideboard mountain. Something to keep in mind. I think I just need to jam the Aria of Flame. Like, Aria Flame is all of my mana this turn, whereas if I Ruby Medallion, it's 2 of my mana next turn, and then I can't cast any other spell. I think instead we're hoping to play Aria Flame this turn, Ruby Medallion, draw a land, and act on Impulse next turn. Otherwise, we can just like cast and act on Impulse, hope to hit a land. Awkwardly, I've given my opponent 10 more life, and like they also have Uro. So things are a little sketch right now. Depending on how the next turn cycle goes, I might Ruby Medallion anyway in hopes of spiking something that lets me past In Flames. Yeah, I mean, our damage scales quickly. But their life also increases much faster than I can kill them right now. So Uro plus Karakas represents a lot of life each turn. Like they're getting 3 life this turn. They're gonna attack. They're gonna get 3 more life next turn. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Presuming they have a 7th mana, they can also gain 6 more life. Maybe every 3 turns. We're also just like a Snapcaster away from destruction. Force of Negation sent one of my Seething Song to exile. I think I just play a Medallion here and then maybe try to cobble together a Past in Flames, Metamorphose, Seething Song kill next turn. Oh god, there's more counter spells? Still? Fuck! Too much gas. How many counters is that? One, two, three, two Council's Judgments that aren't counters. Uh, four. So we've had four counter spells and two Council Judgments as interaction so far, which is an acceptable amount of interaction for turn 10, to be fair. Um, so I am currently dead on board. Whoa! Hold up. What does that do? 9 total mana. Cast Past in Flames for 5, leaving 4. Okay. We can talk. Yeah, we can talk. I guess I don't need to crack the second LED yet, technically. Ah, does not hit creatures. We're going face. Save targets, always yield. Let's go. 41 life. Don't do it! Don't do it, I have a family. Think of the children. My opponent asked me which counterspell they hate the most. I told them Dovin's Veto. Brutal. We got trashed. Okay. That was an impressive 1-4 league. I think my opponent was having fun there. It was a really interesting game. So essentially, just kind of breaking some things down here. The deck is 15 lands plus 25 things that are either mana or pseudo mana. So this is 40 of the 60 cards in the main deck are mana or kind of mana. But the issue is that in order to get going and like actually cast your things that let you churn through your deck, you need to get to 3. So this deck has 12 game 1 3 cards that are central to the strategy. Well, 3 or 4, I should say. And then in the post sideboard games, like literally in every matchup, you're basically bringing in Aria of Flame. So that number usually goes up to 15 unless you're trimming Act on Impulse. And that means you need more initial mana sources. which is terminology that's often used in the like TES and Ant storm decks. And as far as initial mana sources go, we have 19 of them. And we kind of need some of this stuff to stick around. And the Lotus Petal isn't sticking around. Sometimes we get wastelanded. So this deck doesn't quite have enough mana as is to consistently execute its plan. That's what we just ran into, like round after round after round here. When it's doing its thing and it's starting to go off and you actually get to cast your cards, like it's fine and dandy, and then you want fewer lands. But there were like so many hands that we mulliganed because we had one land, or then like kept and had one land, that like 1 to 2 of these Overmasters should just be lands. Fine and dandy. So in game one, you're looking to like kind of goldfish your opponent, right? Like you're looking at the fact that they probably can't interact with your graveyard much, and so you have inevitability via Past in Flames, even if you fizzle at going off. But in game two, when there's more interaction, you want something that like dodges either Sworn Canonist and Leyline and all sorts of other things that your opponents might be playing at the same time. And Aria of Flame is the juke. So it's an awesome card to be sideboarding in, sort of like how Council's Judgment is really good in Death and Taxes, but it doesn't need to be your game one plan. Those are kind of my overall thoughts on the deck.